It's Monday the 16th of February. From the MEN newsroom, this is Channel M's Lunchtime News, and these are today's headlines. Tracking your travel plans, the secret government database watching your every move from Wythenshawe.
The International Travel Records database, which is being put together by the government, is located somewhere here in Wythenshawe.
Also coming up, nursing at its best. We meet the woman who came up with a treatment system that's now used worldwide.
It's absolutely lovely to win an award that's where colleagues have voted for it or nominated. It's quite scary as well, because that list of people who are part of the Diamond 20 includes a number of my heroes.
And I'll be there with bells on, the words of our reporter who's been to find out why Morris dancing is far from dying out.
I like the way that dancing generally, but particularly the Morris dancing, you get out of yourself. You completely lose any stresses, anything that's outside. You come here, meet people, dance, the whole world is good again.
Good afternoon first. Holiday flights, bus trips, train journeys, just some of the travel plans which are being stored in a top-secret database here in Manchester. The movements of millions of people will be tracked from Wythenshawe and kept for up to 10 years, something that's led to tension between politicians and privacy campaigners, as Kevin Duffy now explains.
The International Travel Records database, which is being put together by the government, is located somewhere here in Wythenshawe. The exact location is a secret to keep it safe from terrorism. Without a doubt, this government database is comprehensive. On it are going to be stored the names, addresses, telephone numbers, credit card details, travel itineraries, and even seat numbers, which relate to an estimated 250 million passenger journeys in and out of the UK every year. Now, the common response from the authorities to critics of the so-called surveillance state is that if you've nothing to hide, you've nothing to fear. But it's not that simple, according to the campaign group No to ID.
This database might initially be used for counter-terrorism proposals, though it obviously won't work for that. There have been studies that have shown that it won't work, both in theory and in practice. But where they will take it in the future, nobody knows.
Even if that doesn't bother you, there's another reason to be concerned, says No to ID's Dave Page.
If you look at the government's record on keeping hold of our personal information, it's absolutely appalling.
Immigration Minister and Oldham MP Phil Wallace said in a statement that he believed the majority of Mancunians would welcome these security measures. Mr. Wallace said that existing electronic border controls had already led to 2,700 arrests for crimes including murder, rape and assault. Meanwhile, critics of the so-called surveillance state will probably be encouraged by the new House of Lords report, which warns that the National DNA database is capable of being misused. It challenges the authorities' view that CCTV cuts crime, and it questions whether local councils should have surveillance powers at all. Kevin Duffy for Channel M News.
A woman's been sexually assaulted on a footpath in Stockport. The victim was walking along the track from Marple Rugby Club to the railway station at around 3 a.m. early yesterday morning when she saw a man standing by a lamppost. After asking her for a light, he sexually assaulted her. Detectives are also looking for whoever dragged a woman to the ground and sexually assaulted her in a churchyard as she walked home after a night out in Bolton. She was taking a shortcut through St John's Church in Farnworth when the man began attacking her as she approached the exit. She managed to fight the man off and then ran away. 850 jobs are going at the BMW factory near Oxford that manufactures the Mini. Falling sales mean bosses are cutting production by 2 days a week. Some staff say they were given just an hour's notice earlier that they were going to be out of work with immediate effect and not get any redundancy payouts. That as business leaders issue a fresh warning about the recession. The CBI thinks the government might need to borrow £100 billion over the year. Today's report also warns the economy will shrink by 3.3% over the next 12 months, more than first thought, and the unemployment figure is expected to hit 3 million by sometime next year. A court's warned a former soldier who rescued a policeman from rioting Rangers fans here in Manchester last May. He could be jailed for impersonating a police officer. Tom Bardsley will be sentenced next week for pretending to be an MOD police officer to avoid a train fare home from Birmingham. The 24-year-old was praised for his bravery in rescuing a real PC from these violent scenes on the night of the UEFA Cup final. A hard-hitting new campaign on TV and radio is starting to show teenagers the dangers of cannabis. The Department of Health is hoping to highlight the drug's links with mental health problems and dispel the idea that it's harmless. Mike Linnell, who's a drugs advisor from the Manchester-based Lifeline project, has been giving us his reaction.
I think this website and this campaign, from what I've seen of it, seems a lot more sensible than some of the things that we've seen from Frank in the past. However, we're still in a situation where the law has just been changed on cannabis, and that's against all the advice of kind of experts and everything else. I think we still have to remember that the kind of hysteria on cannabis and the law changes on cannabis are to do with morality and winning elections, and not to do with any evidence about the harm that it can cause. It's unfortunate that it's been jumped on by every side as a kind of bandwagon, and I think this campaign that we've seen at the moment, even though it's fairly mild in what it says, at least is based on evidence, and at least seems a far more sensible approach from the government.
A report's demanding the NHS handles complaints better. Nationally, the NHS gets around 135,000 complaints every year, which are dealt with at local level. 9,000 that can't be resolved get passed to the Healthcare Commission. It's these which have been broken down in today's report. The biggest single category of complaints is the way complaints are dealt with. That accounts for 19% of them. After that, concerns about communication make up 12%, the standard of treatment 11%, and the actual diagnosis 9%. Other issues of concern include waiting times, effectiveness of care and staff attitude. A man's due to go on trial accused of stealing expensive artwork from the Lowry. Casey Miller's charged with theft after items valued at more than £1.7 million were taken. He denies the charges. A family from Hale have been awarded £35,000 in compensation after they were struck down by carbon monoxide poisoning thanks to a faulty boiler. Jeremy Hart called 999 after his wife, 4 children and one of their friends suddenly started vomiting and fainting. The deadly gas had been leaking through the wall into their living room. All 7 needed oxygen treatment when it happened back in 1999. It's taken till now to agree how much of a payout they should get. The MOD is refusing to comment on reports 2 nuclear submarines were involved in a mid-Atlantic crash earlier this month. The UK and French vessels are said to have hit one another just under a fortnight ago. Defence officials insist national security was not breached. Now, it takes a lot of talent to make music, but if you're deaf and blind as well, you also need a great deal of courage. Children at the Royal School for the Deaf in Cheadle Hulme have taken part in a new jamming session to try to give them that confidence.
Today we've got an arts-based family day where we've got a lot of children here who are deaf-blind children, and they have varying vision and hearing problems, and they may have additional disabilities, but the idea is that they come here with their brothers and their sisters and their grandmas, and they all just have fun together with music and art and other activities. A lot of the children have got some available hearing, so they can use their hearing, and we use specialist equipment. Like down here we've got a board that resonates, so it vibrates, so the sound will vibrate through the body that the children are lying on the board with, and any of the children who've got a little bit of vision might actually see the movement of the drums or the movement of the person. So it's just picking up whatever sense they've got and just giving them some stimulation, really.
Time now to take a look at Monday's sports headlines, and here's Mike with details of the FA Cup quarter-final draw.
That's right, thank you, James. 15 teams still involved in the FA Cup at the moment, and here's how things are shaping up. Blackburn or Coventry will entertain Chelsea. Cardiff, Arsenal or Burnley play Sheffield United or Hull City. Everton have a home tie against either West Ham or Middlesbrough, while Manchester United 4-1 victors over Derby yesterday will travel to either Swansea or Fulham. All ties to be played over the weekend of March the 7th and 8th. And there's good news from Antigua this afternoon on day 2 of the second test, where England have closed on 301 for 3. Andrew Strauss hit his 15th test century before falling on 169. Alistair Cook, 52, and Owen Shah, 57, the other in-form batsman. Now, United may have grabbed all the weekend headlines for their 4-1 FA Cup win over Derby, but for the Blues, things weren't quite so good. Sam Goodman has the details.
The pressure is building on manager Mark Hughes after his side lacked any determination in this game. Poor defending cost them the first goal after a great run from Glenn Johnson down the right-hand side saw his first attempt saved by Shay Given. The second attempt was unstoppable though after he fired into the top corner. With only 20 minutes to go and Portsmouth leading 1-0, City were dealt another blow. Again, it was poor defending, this time from a corner, as big Herman Haridason rose above Shalom Logan to deliver a powerful header and secure the victory for the home side. Portsmouth ended a 9-game winless streak, while City now have to prepare for their UEFA Cup match in Copenhagen on Thursday.
A little further down the football pyramid, Hyde United were in Blue Square North action against relegation rivals Hucknall Town. And here's a quick look at how they got on, along with the thoughts of boss Neil Tolson.
Sims header, might get there again. They want handball, they're going to get a penalty for it. Looking for his 14th and gets his 14th.
He seemed comfortable for today. The lad, they did. We've been working on it ever since the start of this year. We tried to tighten up at the back and obviously not concede goals. And you look around the dressing room we've got lads who want to play football and they're good footballers. So you've got to use the strength of what we've got, and they've done well today. The lads have played well. I still think we can improve. That's me being a grumpy old manager, but. We've considering what was at stake. We could have gone bottom of the league today. Let's not, make any qualms over it. But the lads have stuck to what they've done, believed in their own ability of the teammates, and we got 3 points out of it.
In ice hockey, the Manchester Phoenix are celebrating after getting through to their first cup final. That was thanks to yesterday's 6-1, 11-3 aggregate win against the Basingstoke Bison. That sets up next month's two-legged final against the Belfast Giants. David Alexander Beauregard claimed a hat-trick, with Bruce Mulheron and Kyle Bruce also on the score sheet. In rugby league, Swinton Lions got their season off to the worst possible start with a 50-0 defeat at the hands of Dewsbury. Rochdale Hornets went down 54-12 at home against Barrow. But there was better news for the Leeds Centurions, who eased past the London Scholars 74-6. That's it from me for now, but please try and join Sam Goodman, who'll be with you from 5 o'clock with all your early evening sports news.
Mike, thank you very much for the update this lunchtime. There's much more still ahead on today's programme, including recognition for a nurse from Greater Manchester who developed a new system for treating patients. And our reporter Ben Bland joins the Manchester Morris men.
Right. Let's dance.
Well, I like everything, really. It's good exercise, I love the music, it's good comradeship, we have a good laugh together, and we go and have a drink. I mean, how better can you work up a good thirst than having a good Morris dance?
Channel M's Lunchtime News. We've got the top stories from across Greater Manchester every day between 12 and 1. They're also online as well at channelm.co.uk. On there right now, the former girlfriend of a murder suspect police found hanging tells of the warning she gave to his new girlfriend before her death, and why Greater Manchester's firefighters are worried about possible new cuts. That's at channelm.co.uk. Next, she's been hailed a modern-day Florence Nightingale. Now a nurse from Sale has been named one of the most influential in modern times. Janet Marsden teaches doctors at Manchester Met and works at the city's eye hospital. She pioneered a way of assessing A&E patients, which is now used by hospitals around the world to ensure that the sickest patients are treated first.
The Diamond 20 Award was an award that Nursing Times developed to celebrate 60 years of the health service, the Diamond anniversary. And they wanted to look for the 20 most influential nurses over that period of time. It's absolutely lovely to win an award that's where colleagues have voted for it or nominated. It's quite scary as well, because that list of people who are part of the Diamond 20 includes a number of my heroes and people I've used in my reference list throughout my nursing career. So it's really quite scary to be part of that list, but it's very, very nice. And it's lovely for the university, and it's lovely for ophthalmic and emergency nursing, which is why I've been nominated. I started writing about ophthalmic nursing, about eyes, and about how to deal with patients with eye problems quite a long time ago, when I realised that in general A&E, and particularly 6 to 8% of patients have eye problems. I'm an editor of Emergency Triage, which is the textbook for triage in emergency departments, in general emergency departments, which again is used all over the world.
A fire engine bearing the name of an 86-year-old Manchester campaigner is leading an aid convoy to Gaza. It's travelling there in the name of Phil Kaiserman and left the city centre on Saturday to join more vehicles in London on the mammoth journey through Europe and North Africa.
I can't express how I feel about this, that my name should go all the way to Palestine. After all, who am I? An ordinary working chap who, all through my life, I've tried to work for the good of the working people. And somebody out there, silly bugger, said, put Phil Kaiserman's name on that wagon.
We've got your picture as well, Dad. It's on the front window. You can have a look up here. Look.
Oh, blimey. I don't know. That mug going all the way to Palestine.
To Gaza.
Wonderful news to the Palestinian people. My blessings and my wishes for success in their fight for freedom from the Israelis.
Detectives have been granted 6 extra days to question 3 men arrested as part of a counter-terrorism operation. They were stopped on the M56 near Preston and arrested in an ongoing intelligence-led investigation. Airline pilots are stepping up their opposition to identity cards. The association that represents them is warning the government that airport workers are growing more angry at being used as what they call guinea pigs in the plan. Staff here in Manchester will be some of the first in the country to get the new passes. They're supposed to increase security. The shop, credited as being the home of the original berry black pudding, is to close in less than a week. It'll serve its final customers, as Georgia Calvin-Smith now reports.
H. Stone was the first shop to begin serving Berry's famous black pudding to customers over 158 years ago, and it's the oldest business in town. But come Saturday, it's shutting its doors, and the Art Deco building it's located in is going to be demolished to make way for a £350 million development. But many people here feel that this out with the old and in with the new approach is leaving Berry the poorer for it.
It's a shame to see that go, the original black pudding shop demolished forever. The building itself is on the heritage trail of Berry, and it does have great history. Why can't they develop it like other towns do and add some interest to the towns? No matter where you go in England now, if you were dropped in by parachute, you wouldn't know where you were because all the towns are the same, because all the old iconic buildings are being demolished.
Hornby buildings were built in the 1930s to commemorate the Silver Jubilee of King George V. The owners of H. Stone have collected 15,000 signatures from local people who'll be sad to see it and Hornby building go.
It's just wiping out another building block.
Just dreadful that they're pulling the building down, never mind just closing the shop.
Unfortunately, small businesses, we feel, are very much ignored by local authorities and big business.
H. Stone is one of a number of shops on the promenade which will be no more once Hornby buildings are demolished to make way for a new development. People here say that not only do they object to the demolition of an iconic building, but that they feel the whole thing has been conducted unfairly, as none of the tenants here have been offered alternative premises by the developers.
There's not many of us left, and once my shop is gone, there's not another one in Berry the same. I can't find anywhere that's of a reasonable rent, so unfortunately I'm going to have to shut my doors forever.
The developers Thornfield Properties say that tenants of Hornby building were offered compensation to find new premises. But according to Helen and her customers, the loss Berry will suffer to its heritage because of the demolition can't be quantified in cash. Georgia Calvin-Smith, Channel M News.
Filming on Coronation Street is to be completely stopped tomorrow. For the first time in a decade, it's to allow staff to go to the memorial service for Sarah Roach, the wife of William Roach, who plays Ken Barlow. She died just over a week ago. The last time production stopped was for the funeral of the actor who played Alf Roberts. Now, a few weeks ago, you may remember seeing reports that Morris dancing is dying out. Apparently, fewer young people are getting involved in it. Well, in Stretford, a team of dancers are keen to show the tradition is very much alive, and they invited our reporter Ben Bland to put on his dancing shoes.
When the Manchester Morris men invited me to a practice session, I said I'd be there with bells on. Little did I know, they'd take me at my word.
Hi Ben, welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
I thought you said you brought some kit with you.
I haven't got any, I'm afraid.
Well, fortunately for you, we brought some along.
Right. Right, let's dance.
Well, I like everything, really. It's good exercise, I love the music, it's good comradeship, we have a good laugh together, and we go and have a drink. I mean, how better can you work up a good thirst than having a good Morris dance?
I like the way that dancing, generally, but particularly the Morris dancing, you get out of yourself. You completely lose any stresses, anything that's outside. You come here, meet people, dance, the whole world is good again.
Many people, lots of fellas that like to go out and follow the football team and play on a Sunday, and we just do different things. We do it with music, we do it with dance, we have a great time, we travel all over the place. It's just great fun, great exercise, and great comrades, great mates to be with as well.
This is one of the oldest Morris dancing clubs in the country. They've been going since the mid-1930s. Every Thursday, they meet here at St Matthew's Church Hall near the Stretford Arndale. And if you thought Morris dancing was dying out, think again.
We dance out all around the area here. We'll be dancing at Knutsford May Day. We dance out to different pubs and villages around the area. We dance other parts of the country, and we dance abroad. We've been to Paris, Berlin, Malta, Madeira, any number of places, and we always get a very good reception wherever we dance. We're often told we didn't understand the English had their own dances.
This dance with the sticks is called the Vandals of Hammerwich, and to be honest, I was hazardous enough with the handkerchief, so I've decided to sit this one out. If you'd like to have a go at Morris dancing, they're holding a taster session here at St Matthew's Church Hall in Stretford on February the 21st. More details at the website below. Ben Bland, Channel M News.
Well, after a mild weekend, let's see what the next few days have in store with the forecast. Here's Polly Winder.
Well, today's not going to be the greatest day. This morning we started off with quite a lot of drizzle. Very, very foggy on the motorways this morning, especially heading over to Yorkshire. It's going to be quite cloudy the rest of the day. Lots of drizzle around, maximum temperatures reaching around 8 and 9 degrees. It's going to be especially wet, more than drizzle, possibly quite stronger rain over Pennine areas, so not the greatest day, quite cloudy as well. As you can see there then, maximum temperatures reaching around 8 and 9 degrees throughout today. Starting off this morning, quite a murky day, quite grey and gloomy going throughout the afternoon. We will get some sunny spells. I'm quite fortunate there will be some sun, but those spells could be quite few and far between, but I promise that they will come. Going into the evening, it's going to be another drizzly one, quite foggy, especially over hilly areas. Looking ahead to tomorrow, it's going to be pretty similar to today, maximum temperatures of around 9 degrees, wet one as well. Wednesday, we're going to get sunshine, highs of 10 degrees. Thursday, another gloomy one, bit of drizzle and highs of 9.
This is Monday's lunchtime news from Channel M, and these are the main headlines so far. Campaigners are angry after discovering a large government database to monitor millions of journeys is being kept in Wythenshawe. A secret location's been chosen to hold details of flights, train journeys and bus trips. More on that and the rest of the day's news with Andy Crane from 5, but from me, goodbye for now.